there, guys. Mike here. Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection is back. Echo. Anyways, guys, back for another episode of movies I love to rewatch. These are movies they're not brand new, like I just bought it. These are movies I've had for years. And even before I had physical media to collect it, I've seen it on TV and VHS and all that stuff. So it's my ongoing series of movies I love to rewatch. These are not so long. These are kind of more short episodes. But I think it has a really big juicy piece of meat in the center of this episode. This is important because these movies are just great. But this is a movie that I just watched this the other day. Man, I love this movie. It is so good. Marlon Brando is so great in this. This is probably one of my favorite performances of his. And the Criterion Collection put out a really great, beautiful Blu-ray. They put this out in, when did they do this? 2013. But this is one of the first ones that Criterion put out, like in a kind of like a cardboard slipcase and inner tray and everything with this new, probably recycled stuff. But anyways, the movie I'm talking about is 1954's On the Waterfront. Man, all I gotta do is mention On the Waterfront, and it just has so many slices, good slices in there. I mean, you got director Elia Kazan. You got Marlon Brando, and you got Eva Marie Saint, which I think is her first role, one of her first roles. It's also got Rod Steiger in it. He's really good, Rod Steiger. Lee J. Cobb, equally great as the mob boss, and a really good performance by Carl Malden as the local priest. Now, I mean, just a great cast. It's produced by Sam Spiegel, who'd go on to make the big epics in the 60s, Bridge on the River Kwai in 57, and Lawrence of Arabia, etc., etc. He usually really was stuck to, good productions and stuff. He was always really good at that. This was written by Bud Schulberg. His father, I think his name was Bud Schulberg too. I think he's junior. But he ran a movie studio back in the silent days. Was it Universal or Paramount? It's one of those. Very, very famous studio mogul, head of the studio. But anyways, his son wrote this, really good. I mean, just God, man, it's just so good. And this is that Criterion release I'm talking about. You got the slide out thing. You got this new artwork. It's got a really good big book that you normally don't see the Criterion Collection do a big book like that. But man, this is a great release overall. And the other thing, it's got 3 different aspect ratios that you can watch it in. On disc 1, you can watch the, it'd probably help if I put my glasses on. Okay. So disc 1 has all the supplements. It's basically got everything. It's got the documentary about Kazan on here, all kinds of stuff. But this was a 4K digital restoration, and what is this? Okay, it's in the 1:66 to 1 aspect ratio on the first disc. Now, on the second disc, just has 2 different movies with the different aspect ratios. So on disc 2, you get to kind of see what it looks like in a 1:33 aspect ratio, which is basically a square. That all movies were you pretty much have to see it that way before widescreen, which you get larger bars. In the case of 1:66, you just barely got some stuff there. It's a really interesting documentary on here where they show how they did that, what the editors and what the different people would have to work on getting the prints ready for different, things. So, doing some cropping, and it's really very interesting. So, you can view it on 166 on the first disc. You got the 133 on the second disc, and then you got the 185 to 1, which is still pretty common, widescreen aspect ratio. I think I'm gonna edit this episode in 185 to show you, see what it looks like, So, but pretty cool. I mean, this movie takes place on the docks on the waterfront, where you got this. And they have unions, but this mob is running the union, so they're basically taking all the money. They have all these guys line up every morning to get a token so they can work for the day. And it's almost to the point of where they almost fight over it and stuff, because there's so many people, just wanting to work and support their family. And basically they just throw peanuts out to them, and they just, they don't, it's just the way the mob treats them is just, it's horrible. Now, there was a guy that was going to speak out against these mobsters, and he was going to, go to the DA and talk to them and stuff. But once they found out, he got pushed off the roof, Joey, and that was Eva Marie Saint's brother. The thing is, Marlon Brando is kind of he's an ex-boxer. He's kind of unsure of where he's going in life. His brother, played by Rod Steiger, is the brains of that mob, the mob, the mob gang or something. And he's the smart one. He's well dressed. He wears this camel hair coat, very clean cut. And then you got Marlon Brando. He's kind of rough around the edges. He's young. He's kind of aimless. You don't know what he's going to do. It's like, do I want to work for my brother and work for this guy, and and stuff like that. So it's really good. I mean, it's got the scene where him and Rod Steiger are talking about, I could have been a contender, could have been somebody, but he took the short end dive and just ruined his career, everything. So he meets Eva Marie Saint, and she's straight out of like a nunnery, a nun school, a big Catholic school kind of thing, where she's studying, but she's also having second thoughts on life. She don't know if she wants to do that. She meets after her brother dies. It kind of gets her thinking about things. It's just her and her father. The father works on the docks too. And there's one night where Marlon Brando's like, okay, bring Joey, we're going to bring Joey up on the roof, and we're going to slap him around a little bit and say, don't talk to those people. And Marlon Brando's like, okay, I can do that. So he leads him there, and as Brando's getting ready to leave, there goes Joey off the roof and stuff. So they had no intentions of just slapping him around. They're going to murder him, they're going to silence him and everything. So that's when the wheels start turning in Marlon Brando's head, and he's kind of like, man, I don't know about this. I don't know if I want to do this. And he's really shocked and disappointed that they used him basically to lead Joey to his death. And later on, after him and Eva Marie Saint kind of fall in love, she's making her decision. She wants to stay here in the city, take care of her dad, and probably Marlon Brando and all that good stuff. But basically, you got all that, and then you got the big showdown at the end, where Marlon Brando is just beat just mercifully, he's got blood on him, blah, blah, blah. But it kind of reminds him of a boxing scenario. You're down, get back up, show everybody that you're tough and that you can beat these guys and everything. So he can barely make it, but he goes in there, and people start lining up to work. The mob is gone, and it leaves you thinking, well, everything's going to work out. Everything's going to have a happy ending. He's probably going to marry her, and it's pretty cool. I mean, you know, even Brando's brother gets killed by the mob. They kill him. Yeah, Terry Malloy, I mean, that's his name in the movie, and Charlie Malloy is his brother, Rod Steiger, and stuff. So, man, this is such a great movie. Big influence on Martin Scorsese. He loved this movie and stuff like that. And there's still so much technique and stuff that you can learn from this. And the writing, the story is really good. But yeah, I highly, highly recommend this. Get this edition in particular. This is on the Waterfront Criterion Blu-ray. Like I said earlier, it's got the 3 different aspect ratios to play around with, which is, yeah, it's kind of nerdy, but I think it's cool as hell. But anyways, there you go, guys. On the Waterfront, great, great movie. A movie that I always come back to at least a few times a year. It's just so great. Brando's performance. I mean, this was 1954, so you got James Dean was alive still, and you know they were friends. They kind of came from the same acting school and everything. So it's kind of interesting to see Brando's work at that point, because he is really starting out. I mean, the previous year he did the motorcycle movie. What was it, The Wild One, and stuff like that. But man, after this movie, he's just, you know, he's bona fide star. You know, he'd go on to do like Streetcar Named Desire and all the little oddball movies in the 60s and stuff. And then when he hits the 70s, man, he really hits a peak with The Godfather, Last Tango in Paris, Apocalypse Now, and everything. But yeah, he worked all the way up to his death in, what was it, the 90s and everything. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Please comment. Let me know what you thought or what you think about this movie. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I'm really digging this new series I'm doing. Movies I love to rewatch. And I'm having a lot of fun with it, to just rewatch some movies and, you know, everything. So I'm trying to pass that on to you guys. And all that good stuff. So take it easy, guys. Watch some good movies tonight. And I will see you later.